Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Jack.
This morning, I'm looking to ratify, ratify payment of the amount's incorrect on the agenda. The correct amount is $1,237.69 to HRI Commercial Food Service for parts to repair a mixer.
Okay.
And this is a budgeted item. And secondly, looking to request approval for the amendment to Keefe contract to include ICS solutions for inmate phones and tablet services.
Okay. All right. Nope, good.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Jack. Holly.
Good morning, Holly.
I'm seeking to request the purchase of one point blank B2I Level 2 concealable bulletproof vest for one of our new probation officers in the amount of $671.50. Half the cost will actually be covered through the bulletproof vest program through the Department of Justice. So the cost to our department would be $335.75.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Tim.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Hi, Tim.
IT is here to request support, the purchase of network support from DES for $1,015. This is a budgeted item.
All right. Is this one of those credit hour sort of arrangements? Or is it-
No, this is just as needed.
Okay.
And we used them to troubleshoot a phone issue. Phones were dropping a few months ago, and
Okay.
we used their support.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Public safety, I see we have Alan instead of Greg.
All right.
Good morning, Commissioners.
How are
Approve
you?
the payment of $3,750 to Rhino Public Safety Solutions for the second final payment for the work on the SAFER grant.
All right.
How is that coming?
It was submitted on time, and now we're just waiting for the federal government to let us know if we received or denied the grant.
Still have the original 16?
Yes, 16 departments applied.
Okay,
All right.
very good.
Not bad. Thank you.
Well, Zach,
Good morning.
you're here.
Yeah.
I am.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
He didn't mean anything by that.
No, that's okay. We got in late last night, so it's all good. This morning, a few items. The first one, we're asking for approval to reimburse Vogue Heating in the amount of $1,152 for their construction workforce program trainees. We're also asking for approval to reimburse Zaire Building for the amount of $1,256.48. This is for their workforce, construction workforce industry program trainees. We're asking approval to reimburse Ferguson in the amount of $640 for their workforce and trainees. And we're also asking to reimburse R.E. Johnson Electric $3,424 for their 4 trainees that they have. All 4 of those are paid for out of whole home.
I was pleased with the coverage that program got in the Tribune recently. The retention is still pretty good.
The retention is higher than what we're getting out of the high schools, just out of general. So we have 9 students in the program right now. 4 have committed to staying on board with their employers post-graduation. 2 are juniors, and they still have another year of high school before they graduate, but both have indicated that they look to stay on. So that's about 60%, a little bit more than that.
Great.
And the other ones are going on for higher ed. So.
Outstanding. Thank you.
We're also asking for her approval to pay an invoice from the city of Meadville in the amount of $11,725.26. This is to reimburse their 2023 code enforcement wages out of their CDBG program. It's their fiscal year 2021. This is part of the cost. Later on, you'll see a ratification for the other part, and I'll explain why when we get to that.
Okay.
We also are requesting approval to pay the city of Meadville invoice in the amount of $8,579.84. This is a reimbursement for their Q1 of 2024 code enforcement wages. This is paid for out of their CDBG program again, but it's their 2021 contract. We're asking approval to pay in an invoice from LSSE, Civil Engineers and Surveyors, in the amount of $10,620. This is for engineering services associated with Conneautville's stormwater management project, and should be the end of that project's engineering phase. We're moving into construction now. We're also asking for approval to pay the invoice from Dyson Helmy Inc. in the amount of $3,033.05 for engineering on the Carl Gordon Park project. This is paid for out of the county's CDBG 2021 contract. We're asking for approval to pay XL Excavating Inc. in the amount of $33,750 for the Heidi Cooper project. This is paid for out of our the county's CDBG CV3 grant contract. We're also seeking approval to pay an invoice number 7 from Michael Baker International in the amount of $10,304.64 for the 2024 Comprehensive Plan project. This is paid for out of our State Facility Transition Closure Grant Program. We're also asking for approval to reimburse Bloomfield Township Sewage Authority in the amount of $46,250. This is for their new generators for the Sewage Authority. It was part of an Act 13 application and is paid for out of the Act 13 Environmental Grant Program.
Was that this year's Act 13?
That was last
Prior
year's
year,
Act
okay.
13.
All right. I'm
So
sure I
this
missed
was a
something.
project that was awarded last year.
Okay.
They went and put, I think, 4 new pumps in as part of their project, generator pumps, and then they've got a few more that they're working to replace. But this was a project that we had highly funded to keep Canandaigua Lake safe and secure.
Got
So,
it. Thank you.
yeah. This year, though, we are requesting awards for Act 13 Environmental Initiative funds. Those grant contracts are contingent upon signing from the awardee. The first one is the City of Meadville's Shade Tree Commission for Shading Our Streets initiative. They applied for it, and we're proposing to award them $20,000 in funding. And then the Foundation for Sustainable Forests, Healthy Communities in Northwest PA. They applied for, and we are recommending $21,400 in those contracts. We are also asking for approval for a contract amendment with HRG. This is to revise the scope and fee for the East Branch and Knox to Cane Trail Development Engineering and Construction Service contract. Essentially, a piece of the Knox and Cane Trail was not completed per the owner's request, so they're removing that from the scoping and putting additional funds into the Crawford County portion.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The next item, we're asking approval to pay a partial invoice from Game Time in the amount of $207,066.96. This is for the playground equipment at Vernon Township's Roach Park. That is paid for out of 2 grant contracts. The first is the 2021 CDBG for Vernon Township, and the second is the 2022 CDBG contract. They're split pretty evenly, as you'll see on the agenda there. The remaining portion of that invoice is paid for out of the township. They're paying it themselves. And then finally, we're asking for approval to ratify payment to the City of Meadville in the amount of $23,527.29 for 2023 code enforcement wages. This was the other amount of their 2023 wages that was split. The reason it was split is this is paid for out of the 2020 CDBG contract, and that contract was going to expire. And so we needed to get all of that money spent out now before it had to be returned back to the state.
Okay.
Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
You made it to O
Thank you.
today. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
Mark?
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Not sure why Sue and I have to sit through these long speeches. Keep Sue and I
This is the
again.
this is the comeuppance for many, many items from both of you. Yeah.
Who writes up these agendas? Asking to ratify approval of invoices for the new second floor finance office for $91.99.
All right.
Asking approval to pay Otis Elevator for 1-year service contract on the elevator at the courthouse for $12,424.08. Asking approval to pay Schindler Elevator Corporation for a yearly preventative maintenance agreement on the elevators at the Judicial Center for $22,938.12. Asking to ratify approval to pay Rave Environmental Systems. This is to relocate and reinstall the compressor unit behind the courthouse to make way for the brick wall project for $2,769. And asking approval to hire CPS Construction This is to rehab the parking deck for $293,979.
Okay. Is that approval subject to the finalizing of the start date, or
I'll
how
have,
do you feel
I
about
have
that?
information for you after the work session
Okay.
to discuss that finalization, but I think we're fine and plan on reading it next week at the meeting to be
Great,
voted on.
okay. That's what I was hoping for.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Hi, Sue.
Good morning, Sue.
Are you sure this is all the longer year list is?
Yeah, I just have a lot of words in mine. I'm requesting approval of the AFGAR's upgrade and maintenance agreement with Avanco International for fiscal year 24-25. The AFGAR's updates have been agreed upon by all 56 CAPS counties. The total cost of the project is proportionally allocated across all the counties based upon the number of users in each county. This rate is $1,219.54 higher than the current year.
Okay.
Requesting approval of the CWIS agreement with Avanco International for fiscal year 24-25. The CWIS releases, again, have been agreed upon by all 56 CAPS counties, and the total cost of the project is divided amongst the counties based upon users. This is the same rate as the current year. Requesting approval of the ICAM's provider agreement with Avanco International for fiscal year 24-25. The ICAM's provider agreement lists a quarterly maintenance fee, which is equally split between CYS and mental health. The rate is $360.38 a quarter higher than the current year. The consulting services addendum lists the hourly rates for each consultant's time, and these are the same as the current year. Requesting approval of the MOU and transportation plan between General McLean School District and CYS for transportation procedures. These transportation procedure agreements ensure that General McLean School District and CYS work together to design a local transportation plan for foster care children enrolled in the school district. This would be applicable when it has been determined that the foster care child remain in the school of origin and alternative means of transportation to and from the school have been explored and deemed unavailable. These MOUs and transportation plans are typically updated every 3 years. General McLean declined to do so last year. However, we now have a child placed in their district. Requesting approval of the appointment of Kim Schell to the Crawford County Human Services Advisory Board. Kim is currently the Chief Nursing Officer, Vice President of Patient Services at Titusville Area Hospital. She has a bachelor's and master's degree in nursing and graduated from the University of Pitt Titusville, Edinburgh University, and the University of South Alabama. She presently serves on the Emergency Medical Management Cooperative West Board of Directors and is a member of the American College of Healthcare Executives Board. Kim is a member of the Cochranton Volunteer Fire Department, is a CPR instructor, a sexual assault nurse examiner, a Stop the Bleed instructor, is a pre-hospital nurse for the Centerville Volunteer Fire Department, is a certified registered nurse practitioner, and has a Rural Health Chief Nursing Officer certification. Her board term would be May 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024.
Okay.
I told you I married way above.
She has poor taste in men, but I understand she's a good pianist. So
She makes great brownies.
that too, yeah. So this would be was this in lieu of a resignation or
We had 3 openings.
somebody's? Oh,
Yeah,
I
we had
understand.
3
Okay.
openings, so
Okay.
she would fill one of our openings.
Got it. Okay.
Requesting approval of the purchase requisition of various baby items to be purchased through Amazon through the CYS Plans of Safe Care grant. A plan of safe care is a family-centered prevention plan designed to promote the safety and well-being of birthing parents and their infants with prenatal substance exposure through connections to parenting education, safety guidance, and wraparound resources and services. A plan of safe care can strengthen protective factors, promote healthy development, and prevent child welfare involvement. The total is $10,228.46. There is no cost to the county. And finally, requesting approval of the F1 amendment to the fiscal year 23-24 CYS JP contract with Appalachian Youth Services. This amendment is adding the work experience program to the contract for a youth with an expected placement date of early June. This service is needed in lieu of an educational component because the youth is Amish and has already graduated. The work experience program is only charged to the placing county during the school year. The fiscal year 23-24 contract is being amended to include this service just in case the placement occurs earlier than anticipated. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Sue.
Very much so. Good morning, Denise.
How are you?
Good. I have two items to present. Community Health Services, 2022-23 MATP. It's for the end of the year. They have given us a check request for $201,309, but I saw today that we received a receipt for like $166,000. So I will verify that amount prior to the full meeting
Okay.
next week. And then we have an invoice for Flattery, Bardo, Rogel, and Armick for a civil claim settlement of $75,000.
Okay.
And then we have a ratify for the P-TIP for the May 2024 insurance for $662,185.49.
All right.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks.
Nicole?
Good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. Request to ratify the payment of the Campbell Durant and Beatty invoice number 74618 in the amount of $7,870.23 for special labor counsel. This is a budgeted item.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Christine?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to ask for approval for the 4-year contract with Palmetto Posting, Inc. The only change is the cost of the postings, and the cost will increase by $2.50 per year per parcel. This cost is a budgeted item and will be passed on to the delinquent property owners as they're assessed. Attorney Keith Button has already reviewed the contract.
What is the cost per posting? I know you said it
It's-
had gone up.
It's
but-
currently $30 per posting,
So it'll
so
be
by the end of the
32.50.
4, it'll be at 40.
Okay.
So, and that gets, as soon as we post their property, they get charged that on their,
Gotcha.
on their bill.
Thank you.
So.
Okay. Gina?
Okay, a couple items for approval and some notifications. And the first request for approval is on behalf of the county fair. It's approval of the contract with Chris Higbee to play on Monday, August 19th, and that is in the amount of $7,000. And the second one is requesting approval of the performance agreement between Garrett Owens and the Fair Association for a fundraiser event on July 5th, 2024, and to open for Chris Higbee on August 19th, 2024, in the amount not to exceed $4,500 for both performances. Okay, and then some notifications. The first one is from Sandra and William Tracy for an MPDES permit to allow discharge of treated sewage to surface waters in an unnamed tributary in Oral Creek. The second is a notification from Pencrest School District, specifically Maplewood High School, regarding renewal application for NPDES permit to allow discharge of treated sewage to surface waters and/or construction facilities in Randolph Township. Notification from Porter Consulting Engineers for General Permit 11, maintenance of water obstruction and encroachments authorization for the former Race Street Lumber Facility, also known as the Cusawago Square Development. Project permitting is required for construction or structures within the FEMA floodway of French Creek in the city of Meadville. And notification from Scotch Hill Solutions on behalf of Apple Shamrock Dairy Farms regarding the intent to apply for a renewal of their NPDES permit for their existing dairy operation. The proposed activities will take place in Steuben Township.
Okay. Any public comment? None? Mr. Feely?
All right. No, just that today begins the tabulation of the votes cast in the April 23rd primary. We again applaud our elections team and all the poll workers across Crawford County who made that go so smoothly. So if you are an enthusiast of data entry or the tedious side of democracy, please feel free to stick by after the meeting today and watch us begin that process.
Okay. Commissioner Henry is spending the day in Altoona along with Stephanie from Finance. So they're tied up at meetings all day down there. So we won't see them until tomorrow. Other than that, I don't have anything else going on at this moment, so we are adjourned.